Hey yo, what up? It's Gizzle. We here, live from LA, and I'm living life with two L's on the cloud. You heard?
Hold down, down, down. Hold that down, down. Slow down, down, down. No, not right now. Hold down, down, down. Hold down, down, down. Slow down, down.
I started songwriting because I started rapping. I started rapping first. Cool to Love asked me, when I was a senior in high school, if I could write for other people, if I thought I could write for other people. So I wrote my first project when I was a senior in high school, freshman in college, and that's kind of like where I got my start in songwriting. I did that project and kind of explored a couple other things in TV and film as an artist, as a writer. Songwriting was just a viable option to kind of wait for everything to catch up. You know, my music has definitely evolved around throughout these years. Like, even though I was songwriting and that's what the world knows, I got projects and I'm putting them out for the people. You'll be able to see my growth, but just like mentally, like the things that I was on 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, I'm just not on them. I've still been I was always like just as talented. I've always worked just as hard, but my mind is different. My spirit is different. I've just grown, and so I think that's what I think people will be able to see that and know that no matter what path you're on, you'll always get back to where you need to be. Growth comes with doing things day in and day out and not being hard on yourself and holding these crazy standards on yourself, and just like, you just gotta keep on working. And I think that shows in my music. I'ma always just express myself. I'm gonna express whatever my truth is in that moment, in that day. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's not. And I've always just been that kind of person where I can only do what's true to me. I can only come from a place where I feel like I'm not even an expert, but just where I know. Because belief is different from knowing. When you know, you know. You don't have to ask anybody about it. And I'm only interested in sharing that with the world. And most of those things are things I know about myself. And so I think the only pressure I have is to tell the truth. I'm excited to be the person I am, first of all, today. To know who I am, to know what I want and what I don't want. And for not only the industry but the world to be in the state that it's in, and not like in the state, because I think when we think about how the world is with everything that's going on, just like socially or politically, we think, oh, it's a bunch of chaos, but actually the world is like in a great state of acceptance, and there is some like hatred and like assholes and idiots. The majority is full of love and acceptance, and they want creativity and authenticity, and they support that. So I'm happy to like be centered and sound in this environment, in this climate. For a lot of times, when people say I don't feel like ahead of my time. I did when I was like a kid. I would just always be rapping with older people, and then when I was battling, they would get so upset. When you're a kid and you don't know your strengths and you don't know, you just like, I'm gonna just go hard. But when you get older and you kind of have like a sense of the world, and you know your power, so to speak, then you don't try to use that on everybody. Like, you don't want to be a bully or something like that. But I'm definitely like trying to find the balance between that, because I'm only competitive with myself. Rap is like a competitive thing, but that's why, what I do is not strictly just rap or, whatever. Like a long time ago, I feel like I kind of just plateaued with just wanting to do rap or do the things that are, I don't know, I don't want to like put anything down. Happy for everybody's success and what they do and what they're good at, but I just grew disillusioned with it, after a while, and now, I'm finding new ways to attack it and new ways to use my talent so that it's more purposeful. I couldn't do any of this without a certain level of peace. One thing I have, and I still learn through my journey, like doing this, and I've learned, and I have an incredible amount of patience, for myself and other people, and I know that I'm not what I do, and I think a lot of people confuse that. So I could get in the mix because I like to get in the mix, but then I could come out because I like to be out the mix, and I'm comfortable with myself. So I'm not a person who is not comfortable being alone or riding by themselves or anything like that. I used to be, but you know, I just had to learn to protect my energy first, to protect my passion, and then not to be surrounded by people who drain it or make me feel less than, or you know, don't make me feel at my best, or makes this feel like work. You know, this should never feel like work. It should always feel like breathing, you know. Like it's so easy, and that's how I feel about this. Even though it's my career and I work hard, I was gonna do it anyway.